Well, let's take a check on the two teams. Mansfield making 5 changes tonight, giving a debut to Hartigan after his signing from Wimbledon. Hawkins is fit despite a hamstring concern. Boateng and Oates, who are also carrying injuries, have been named on the bench. So it's Pym in goal, O'Toole, Hawkins and Hewitt, Gordon and McLaughlin at wing-back, Lapsley, Hartigan and Quinn in midfield, and Swan, who's on loan from Forest, alongside Lucas Akins. Last season they played a back 4. They changed it pre-season. It's very definitely a back 3 these days for the Stags.
Yeah, they've gone to a back 5, and Michael Duff actually sat down in front of us, and his Cheltenham team, when they got promoted out of this league, they played a back 5. You looked at Forest Green last season, Exeter, both teams again that did very, very well in this league and got promoted, played back 5, so that'll be something Nigel Cook's looking at, and it defensively makes them very strong.
Well, Derby makes 7 changes, with Liam Rossini wanting to rotate. His 6 outfield subs from the weekend are all starting. That includes teenage defender Kwaku Adoro, who makes his debut after his move from Manchester City. Another debut as well for Wayne Rooney's cousin Jake Rooney, following his release from Burnley. He only signed yesterday. Wildsmith in goal. Think it'd be a back 4 as normal. Aduro, Stearman, Cashinen for side. Rooney can play in there, but he's more likely to play in the heart of midfield, we think, with Thompson and Smith either side of him, Knight, Dobbin and Sibley up front.
Yeah, and there'll be players here wanting to prove a point and try and play their way into the side, and you heard some of the other pundits talking about it. This Derby team Derby got beat, didn't they, at Charlton? They lost the game. There'll be lots of players trying to say, get minutes into their legs, so show Liam Rossini that they can do a job. What they will have to do is not give silly free kicks away, because when balls are whipped in the air, you mentioned Hawkins and Mansfield, he's a real threat, he's so effective in both boxes. The balls are whipped in, Hawkins can get goals. Don't say, I'm expecting an even game. Interesting to say that actually Mansfield are slight favourites to those odds, but yeah, be even game, hard one to call. But yeah, 7 players, lots of transition, but you said it there as well, so good to see that Derby County is still in existence. I really was that scared that they might have been no longer, and that would have been just heartbreaking. Look at that support, full house behind the goal. If people don't care about cut runs, this competition matters, believe me.
Oh, absolutely, and this game matters as well. They've actually been drawn together again in the EFL Trophy, so they haven't played each other for just a few weeks short of 20 years. Those Derby fans will be back here in the middle of October for a game in the EFL Trophy, but this is the one that matters tonight. And just to reiterate, Mansfield have never beaten Derby County in their history, but they will fancy their chances tonight. Amber shirts with blue sleeves and blue shorts. Field Mill, as it used to be known, the oldest professional football ground in the world. They've been playing here since 1861. You're looking surprised. You know how I know that?
You just always have the best stats. You never surprise. You cease to surprise me.
It's written above the goal away to my right, the oldest professional football ground in the world.
And that's why
that's my research.
There you go. And that's why I'm sure you're a midfield maestro, because you've got the vision. You just pick passes and the same. You never miss anything.
It was a lack of mobility that made me play midfield. Don't worry about that.
Fridays, no?
No. Not even. White shirts, black shorts, Derby County, who will kick from left to right in this first half. So they will defend the north stand here at the One Call Stadium, and that is the stand that houses those travelling Derby County supporters, almost universally dressed, seemingly in white shirts, away to our left. And the way that Derby are lining up for the kickoff, it is, as we expected, going to be a 4-3-3, potentially maybe a 4-1-4-1. Corey Smith's on the right-hand side at the moment with Knight in a more central position, but we'll see how things pan out. First goal of the night, Carlisle are taking the lead at Shrewsbury through Ryan Edmondson. We'll keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in, but we're back underway. Cup football starting. Domestic Cup football for the 2022-23 season, and it's live here on TalkSport 2. Mansfield against Derby, an East Midlands cracker to get us underway. Ollie Hawkins, who has been a striker for much of his career, playing at centre-half these days, and he's laid the ball back to his goalkeeper Christy Pym. Ball clearance from him, chipped straight out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Derby County right by one of the debutants, Kwaku Adoro, who signed from Manchester City in the summer. He's only 19, very highly regarded, and he's deliberating about where to take this throw. Eventually launches it down the line. Corey Smith makes the run, and it's put out of play by Hewitt for another throw that'll be taken by Derby. Not too far adrift over the edge of the Mansfield penalty area. Still in the very early stages. Second minute, live on TalkSport 2. Mansfield against Derby with Matt Murray.
And what a brilliant atmosphere. Listen to the drum, and already, here's Mansfield on the attack.
There's McLaughlin, plays it forward down the left-hand side for Bowery, who wasn't expected to be in the starting lineup tonight, Jordan Bowery, but he's taken the place of Lucas Akins. So Bowery, who's very versatile, he played right wing back at the weekend. He's also seen action at centre-half this season, but he's playing in his more customary attacking position, the former Aston Villa man, and he's replaced Lucas Akins in the starting lineup. Mansfield have possession in the midfield. Nice touch from the blonde-haired Lapsley. It'll just break away from Swan, and it's brought down in the midfield by Sibley, who in driving forward is foul, and referee Andy Kitchen has given a free kick Derby's way inside their own half. 2 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, he started a good tempo, and I think he even caught the scoreboard out, because Akins was definitely announced on that team, on the scoreboard. It came up, the picture of him, very experienced player. Obviously, Nigel Clough knows him so well from his Burton days, so for him to miss out just like that and come in, in the warm-up, must have got an injury in the warm-up or something like that. But Bowery, again, experienced player, probably not quite hit the heights we hoped, Chesterfield to Aston Villa, but a good player at this level.
Yeah, he did play in the Premier League for Villa, Jordan Bowery, replacing Lucas Akins, who was in the Burton side under Nigel Clough. They reached the semi-finals of this competition some 4 years ago, which was an astonishing achievement. They're in possession at the back with Hartigan in the defensive-minded midfield position. Hartigan today for Mansfield. He's played it forward, but it's been easily cut out. The ball brought under control by Derby's Irish defender Cashin, but Mansfield might be able to cash in because he's been robbed of possession. They've done well to feed Bowery. Bowery turning towards the edge of the area. Rooney's done well. Sticks his foot in. That's a very good contribution from Jake Rooney on his Derby debut. Mansfield recycle it, work it wide for Gordon, and his cross is blocked and goes out of play for a Mansfield town throw. 3 gone, 0-0.
Excellent recovery there from Rooney, because Derby, they're quite expansive when they have the ball. Cash in, not poor mistake from him. Highly rated young centre-back, but yeah, good recovery from Derby.
So it's Mansfield on the front foot here. Lapsley with the opportunity to send a high swinging ball inside the box, which is easily headed away at the back by the experienced Richard Stearman. Quinn will try and make his way forward, but Adoro just did the sensible thing, turn the ball away from the Irishman, puts it out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Mansfield left. Good spectacle inside the opening 4 minutes in glorious sunshine. The entire country enveloped in sunshine today. Very hot here. Temperatures pre-game in the high 20s still, so it's going to be strength sapping. McLaughlin playing it forward, couldn't find Bowery, won by Rooney, who started really well, and he gets the ball again. Very willing to show for in the midfield, into the path of Smith. Knight now brings it forward, simply wanting to turn, but it's denied the space by Hawkins, who was in strongly behind him, and now O'Toole will bring it under control for Mansfield and work it back for his goalkeeper, Christy Pym. 0-0.
Fantastic tempo already, really good start, and it was interesting listening to the name of Wayne Rooney as well, still singing his name. They appreciate the work he did, and he'll be missed, but it's up to Liam Rossini now. But I've really enjoyed the start of this game.
Play forward again by Rooney, who is a similar kind of build to his big cousin Wayne, a fair of hair, maybe not quite as very evidently strong as Wayne Rooney, but still a young man, and clearly he's done very well in training, because they only signed him yesterday, and for him to be thrown straight into the starting lineup for his senior debut today speaks volumes about the contribution that he's made in his short time here in the East Midlands. Here's Swan bringing the ball down and working out towards the right hand side. Now an opportunity for Gordon for Mansfield to whip it inside the penalty area, easily cleared by Stearman, brought under control. At least that was the intention of Lewis Dobbin, but it took a heavy touch and Mansfield have won it back. There's been a real zest about them in the early stages. Gordon has it again, made one appearance for Derby at the start of his career, has beaten his man, fires in a right-footed ball, just too far ahead of Swan, and out comes Joe Wildsmith and makes a comfortable catch. But a good start from Mansfield, who are a division below Derby, like the Rams, they've won one and lost one of the opening 2 league games, but they're playing with a confidence, Matt Murray.
Yeah, real confidence, and we talked about the system and the change that Nigel Clough has made in pre-season, and what you do see from that system is wing-backs getting forward, and Gordon there is providing the width. He's a real attacking threat, so it also allows you to get bodies in the box, and he's whipped some dangerous balls in. Good take there from Joe Wildsmith, and I'm interested to see how Joe Wildsmith does, because he spent quite a long time on the bench at Sheffield Wednesday. Now he's got his chance to be that number one, to step in. He's going to have to do a lot with the ball at his feet, but also make those saves. And again, a highly rated young goalkeeper back in the day, 26, 27 now. So this is a real opportunity. But yeah, really good start.
Yeah, through necessity, Derby made a lot of signings in the summer. 14 of them all in all. 7 of them have started each of the first 2 league games, but Liam Rossignol ringing the changes tonight. He's made 7. Nigel Clough with 5 for Mansfield, who dominated possession in the early stages. They've got it again with Hawkins. Away to our right. Mansfield are kicking from right to left at the moment. And O'Toole, another player with plenty of experience. I mean, it's certainly a Mansfield side that knows what it's all about at this level. Clearance comes from Pym, played back through the midfield by Cashin for Derby, and goes out of play for a Mansfield throw off Thompson, which will be taken over on the far side. Well, you'll be aware that Conor Cody has made the move from Wolves to Everton. He'll talk about that tomorrow morning on the TalkSport breakfast. We'll also hear from former Rangers midfielder Charlie Adam, who will be looking back on Rangers' crucial Champions League qualifier this evening. We'll keep you up to date with all the events. Remember, they're 2-0 down against the Belgian opposition from the first leg. And former Aston Villa captain Gabby Agbonlahor will be joining the show from 8 as well tomorrow morning. That's a TalkSport breakfast with Laura Woods and Ali McCoy, 6 o'clock over on TalkSport tomorrow. You can listen via DAB, the TalkSport app, or watch all the action via TalkSport Edge. Also reacting to the big shocks tonight, will one of them be here? McLaughlin playing the ball forward into the feet of his compatriot Quinn. He's got it back again on the left-hand side. Just worked forward by McLaughlin. Swan with a neat touch, got a sight of goal with a drive that went over the bar, but not by much. He was dipping. He took it really sweetly onto his right foot, but it dipped just over the bar of Joe Wildsmith, out of play for a goal kick. But the first sight of goal for either side tonight, 8 minutes gone at 0-0.
Yeah, really confident play from the young man, but I think Nigel Clough will definitely be the happier of the 2 managers. His side look very composed in possession. They're getting some good patterns together, and yeah, Swan getting in that pocket, and when players turn and shoot that early, that can catch goalkeepers out. A little bit more dip, could have crashed in off the underside of the bar, but positive play from the Nottingham Forest man as well. How much would he love a goal tonight?
Oh, wouldn't he just? He's only made a couple of appearances for Forest, just the 1 senior goal in his career so far, but he's got a very good reputation in the game already. Aduro, the right back for Derby, just lays it back here for Smith. Smith into midfield for Rooney, and straight back for Smith again, with Derby in possession inside their own half of the centre circle. Play forward now towards Thompson. Thompson out towards the left-hand side for the vastly experienced Forsyth, who was in the Derby side that reached the quarter-finals of this competition back in 2014. But as the Rams work it forward, the long ball, it's bypassed everybody and gone out of play for a goal kick. Well, goals few and far between in the early stages. Told you that Shrewsbury were winning at Carlisle. Preston just taking the lead at Huddersfield through Troy Parrott, the striker on loan from Tottenham. And Swansea a goal up at Oxford through Jay Fulton. And that was a cynical push there from Hewitt towards the edge of the area. It might earn him a yellow card. Don't think he's going to be red because of the presence of covering defender Hawkins. But the Derby players are making the case for the referee that it might be the darker of the cards. Hewitt coming back, knew that he was beaten. It was all after Mansfield had lost possession very cheaply in the midfield, and Hewitt couldn't afford to let his man get goal side. Brought him down just on the edge of the penalty area. Free kick in a good position, and Hewitt, you have to say, he's done a good job for his team there, because it could easily have been 1-0 Derby.
Yeah, I was very interested to see what colour that card was, though. It was a straight pass from Mansfield, and we said how good they've been in possession. They've found good passing lanes, if you like, but that was a straight pass, well read, intercepted, and because they were split and the ball went straight through, Dobbin was going to be in. He's quick, and I agree what he's saying. Just because Hawkins was maybe covering is what meant it was a yellow card, not a red, but it wouldn't have surprised me if that had been a red card. This is now a free kick in a very, very dangerous position. Left footer over the ball. Let's see what happens.
It's going to be Sibley to strike it. There are 4 in the wall, and there's a runner. who will come out from the edge of the wall. In fact, he stayed put. It's deflected off Hewitt and goes out of play for a corner, the first of the game. Sibley striking it well, didn't get the height that he wanted, got the pace, and it's come off Hewitt on the left edge of the wall as we look at it, and is headed away for a corner to Derby County, 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the first corner, and this is a little bit of pressure. It all came from that poor pass from Mansfield, but now it's going to be another test. But yeah, free kick into the wall.
Rooney amongst those battling for a bit of position inside the penalty area as the corner comes in. Stearman with a touch. He's guided it back inside his own half for Adoro, who then seeks the sanctuary of his goalkeeper. And good pressure from Mansfield, who came out and pressed, forced the young man to go back for Joe Wildsmith. Wildsmith taking a touch, plays it to his left for Cashin, and now Thompson's going to be able to bring it forward for Derby. Work forward through the midfield into the feet of Sibley. Back for Rooney. Rooney to Stearman. Stearman into Corey Smith, and straight back again. Wildsmith still playing as a sweeper keeper in an advanced position outside his penalty area. Derby desperate to play out for the back, and Mansfield's eyes have lit up. They're trying to put the pressure on and force an error, including Hartigan, who pushed forward from the defensive midfield position almost as the most advanced of the Mansfield men there to try and force that error. But Derby have stuck to their principles and have played out very neatly. And Rooney's done well to take it on a couple of touches and spray it wide to the left. Now for Scythe, into the feet of Dobbin on the edge of the area, but he couldn't get hold of the shot, and he scuffed it through to the Mansfield goalkeeper, Christy Pym.
Yeah, technically our first shot on target is that, and very routine save there for Christy Pym, but I'm sure Liam Rossini will be delighted with how brave his team were on the ball, and you can see, again, a clear identity how high Wildsmith is asked to play as the goalkeeper. Allsop was doing it last year, very good for him.
Mansfield win it back cheaply in the midfield with Hewitt. Chipped over the top by McLaughlin, and Stearman uses his experience to be able to guide it back for his goalkeeper. Which is Stearman, who is another with Premier League experience. He was at Wolves in the top flight with you, I guess.
I used to have they used to play fight me. I was always injured and I was the old man, and they all used to come and attack me and play fight me, him, Keogh and all that. And Richard Stearman, great guy, and definitely in the twilight of his career, but really, really good player, fantastic career.
He'll do a good job for Derby as well with the experience he's got, in almost 450 appearances in the top two divisions. And he's just laid it to his left-hand side here for Cashin, and a good ball over the top from him, although it's going to skate away from Forsyth, and just ran over the line before the experienced left-back could get to it. It's gone out of play, but just past the corner flag over on that far side, the right side of the corner flag as far as Derby are concerned. It's going to be a throw rather than a goal kick. And O'Toole is going to have to go and retrieve the ball from in front of the groundsman's hut before play can resume. Got more live football coming up for you tomorrow. Sheffield Wednesday against Sunderland, which was one of the League One playoff semi-finals last season. They meet again in the Carabao Cup first round. It's exclusive on TalkSport 2 tomorrow. Neil Redfern alongside me for that. And kick-off around the ground starts with Adrian Durham here on TalkSport 2. The build-up again from 6 tomorrow. And all the goals and reports as they go in live on TalkSport tomorrow, as indeed they are right now. If you've got the TalkSport app, you can just swipe left, swipe right for the live game and the goals as they happen. Take your pick. But we'll keep you up to date with the goals as they go in. Grimsby leading Crewe 1-0 through Luke Waterfall, and Charlie Kendall's given Lincoln the lead at Doncaster. 0-0 here between Mansfield and Derby in the first round of the EFL Cup. And it's the Rams in their white shirts and black shorts who have possession, with the dark-haired, thick-set Cashin finding Stearman, the taller of the two Derby centre-halves. Back for Wildsmith, and back four for Stearman again. No pressure put on the ball this time. Stearman will just drive it forward. Dobbin making a run, trying to get goal side of Hewitt. He's done that at a tight angle, whips it inside the penalty area, but there was no one there in support for him, and Mansfield will be able to bring it away, but Hawkins has given it away. Rooney coming onto it. What a good start he's had. Adoro's touch was a little bit loose. Hawkins under pressure can get it away from the edge of his own penalty area, and then it'll be cleared left-footed by Hewitt, and out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Derby right. I think it's fair to say in the early stage from what we've seen, Derby are better than Mansfield at playing out from the back under pressure.
Yeah, definitely at the moment. Derby having more to control possession, getting their press right whenever Mansfield have it, and forcing them into a lot of traps. I felt in the first few minutes Mansfield looked decent, but at the moment they're not able to put more than 2 or 3 passes together, and Derby really got this press right. And as you say, then when they have the ball at the back, starting with Wildsmith, they're building at will, and they do look a threat. And it feels like sometimes Mansfield have got quite a high line, and they're definitely trying to get runners in behind Derby as well. So Liam Rossini now will definitely be happy with the last 5 or so minutes.
Yellow card for Hewitt, as we mentioned. The last time the two sides met, Mansfield had a player sent off after 90 seconds, which was Lee Williamson. It was a League Cup tie 20 years ago next month. Mansfield still took the lead in that game with an early goal from Neil Moore, but ended up losing 3-1. Haven't met in the league since the 1950s. Derby on the front foot again with Sibley checking, turning aside Hardigan, getting his shot in, spilled by the goalkeeper, and an opportunity to take a touch. They haven't been able to walk it in through Jason Knight. His head is in his hands as Mansfield clear. Maybe had to hit it first time. Goalkeeping under duress was not particularly clean from Pym, but Derby couldn't make the most of it.
I'm trying to explain that if you can. The first shot went in, didn't it? It was spilled, it dropped around. I thought maybe someone was going to poke it in, but somehow it doesn't always matter how you do it. It doesn't have to be a perfect save, it just has to be effective, and with a little bit of luck and improvisation they kept it out.
Wildsmith playing out from the back. Derby again, neat and tidy with the ball in midfield, but then as Smith left it, it's Hardigan that was able to pick it up for Mansfield. He couldn't find the pass that he wanted, but as Derby play out, they've given it away. Gordon's first time ball inside the area. Smith on the turn, it's well blocked. Cashin threw himself into the line of fire, and it ricochets out for Forsyth, and then he can play it down the line for Sibley. Mansfield tried to push forward and play him offside and got it wrong, and his cross just evades Dobbin, who slid into the far post but couldn't reach. And it goes out of play for a throw, signalled by assistant referee Lisa Rashid. Mansfield 0, Derby 0, but a side of goal at either end in the space of about 12 seconds.
Oh yeah, this game's really coming to life now. It's getting quite stretched, quite open. I thought Swan did everything right, really smart touch and turn, didn't even lift his head. He knew where the goal was, but really good block again from another young player in this game in Cashin. Probably Cashin got thrown in the team a little bit earlier than you would have thought last season because needs must. But then on the counter-attack, got the offside trap wrong, Mansfield. Sibley, great ball in, and he's inches away, wasn't he? If he had studs on, not moulds, he might have converted that one, but really good play.
"18 minutes gone, Mansfield 0, Derby County 0. It's a throw which will be taken by Aduro on the Derby right. He's midway inside his own half. Lays it down the touchline, and coming out from the back line, Hewitt just fields it, puts it out of play. Knight then tried to turn it forward, almost able to set Sibley going, but it breaks for Lapsley in the midfield. Dan Lapsley lays it out towards the right, where it's played down the line by Gordon. Bowery chasing after it. The late inclusion in the Mansfield team after Akins was injured in the warm-up. Rooney clears from the edge of the Derby penalty area, brought down by Jason Knight, who's playing in the centre of midfield. He's been playing at right back in the league so far this season for the Rams, but back in midfield tonight. And now Wildsmith, who has it again. You talk about Joe Wildsmith, what a big season it is for him. He's 26, he's played less than 100 senior games in his career. Career perhaps at a crossroads prior to his move to Derby County, but a decent start for him so far with just the 1 goal conceded in his fledgling Rams career today.
It'll be interesting as well, because again, look how high he is playing outside of his box. It's something he hasn't been used to being able to do. Sometimes that was a reason why he didn't play at Sheffield Wednesday a few seasons ago. Very, very good goalkeeper, but the in-possession side of his game is the bit that there might be a few question marks about. But I really like Dobbin up front for Derby. I think he looks very lively.
And he's chasing Hawkins again here. Hawkins, converted from a striker, knows all the runs, knows all the tricks, and he just instinctively leant across to block Dobbin's path to the ball on the edge of the area. Now a defensive header will find Wildsmith thanks to his ultra-high starting position, and he read it well. He comes out and clears from way outside his penalty area and stopped Will Swan getting in. And one goalkeeper punts it forward and finds the other. Pym just having to protect his eyes from the sun, which is going down away to our left-hand side. Pym drives it forward and goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Derby left. Amani Little has scored for Forest Green. It's their first goal for his new club after his summer move from Torquay. They lead Leighton Orient by a goal to nil. Stearman on the edge of the D to Adoro. Adoro slipping it forward, but McLaughlin read it and got there ahead of Jason Knight. McLaughlin struggling to keep his balance on this very hard pitch, but he could find Quinn. Quinn's ball in. Lapsley couldn't find Swan, can't find McLaughlin. It's back for Lapsley off the underside of the bar from the edge of the penalty area, and Derby survive. So close to being 1-0 to Mansfield. They have it again with Gordon. He's brought down on the edge of the penalty area, about 6 yards outside the box, and it's a free kick to the Stags, but they very nearly had the lead.
Oh, they did, and it's such intelligent play, and Quinn is so experienced, been a fantastic player in his career, and he got into that area, and he didn't panic, he was just calm. Everyone dropping, pulled the ball back, and it looked like Lapsley had done everything right. Wildsmith rooted to the spot, but comes back off the inside of the bar. But then credit Mansfield, they don't show any disappointment, they keep the ball alive. Now they run a free kick in a dangerous position, and this is what's horrible for a goalkeeper. The Derby County free kick, only one player over the ball. 2 here, left foot or right foot, it keeps you guessing, it makes it much more difficult.
Well, Hartigan's the right footer. He may well just be there as the decoy, though. It's McLaughlin who stands over it. Hartigan shows what I know. Right-footed effort does go over the bar. He struck it really well, but the goalkeeper had it covered, and it went over the bar by a couple of feet.
Yeah, because it's hard, because as a goalkeeper you don't know who's going to take it. Will it come your side? Will it go round the wall? But Hartigan, I used to like watching him play for AFC Wimbledon. I thought he was a good ball player. You've seen that again tonight. Bit of a set-piece specialist as well. Scored a few free kicks, but definitely took a lot of corners. Whitnam in got assists like that and free kicks. And yeah, decent strike, just couldn't quite keep it down. But even game, it's ebbed and flowed. But I think it's really come to life now with no goals. But wow, we've seen some very good chances.
It's still 0-0 incidentally at Ibrox. Rangers against the Saint-Gilloise of Belgium. They're 2-0 down on aggregate in that Champions League qualifier. Goalless with half of the first half behind them there. Now we're 23 minutes in here at the One Call Stadium, Field Mill, Mansfield. 0-0 between the Stags and Derby. Mansfield have come the closest with that effort from Lapsley, which came off the underside of the bar. But it's a very entertaining game. 90 minutes tonight and then penalties, no extra time. I don't think there'll be too much extra time at Huddersfield either, where they're 2 down at home to Preston. They've had a poor start to the season at the Terriers, and Ali McCann has doubled the Lily Whites lead there. Huddersfield 0, Preston 2. Reminder, all the goals as they go in, with reports of those goals over on TalkSport. Adrian Dunn around the grounds for you right now. Here on TalkSport 2, Jim Proudfoot and Matt Murray, the former Wolves goalkeeper, talking you through the action in this East Midlands derby, which has been very easy on the eye. Ball goes out of play here for a goal kick that will be taken by Mansfield's Christy Pym, another one of their new signings. He's on loan from Peterborough. He had a spell at Stevenage on loan last season, and he'll spot the ball down, take this goal kick. 24 minutes in, 0-0.
Yeah, very experienced goalkeeper Christy Pym, won the Golden Glove at League One, then promoted out of League One. Fallout well documented with Darren Ferguson, but he just loves to play. He's wanted to go out and play. Come very close to promotion as well, I believe, with Exeter from this level, so he knows what it's all about. And Nathan Bishop did well here last season. Very different sort of keepers, different stage of their careers, but key position. And yeah, Christy Pym is I think he's looked pretty good tonight.
Yeah, Bishop integral in Mansfield's excellent season. They got into the playoffs. They ended up losing the final to Port Vale. Bishop on loan last season from Manchester United. Derby have it in the midfield, but still inside their own half. Not too much of the pitch now bathed in sunshine, most of it in shadow. Cashin's in shadow as he just plays it to his right-hand side for Stearman, as Hull take the lead at Bradford with a Harry Lewis own goal, and Exeter, through Sam Nombe, lead at Cheltenham by a 1-0 at Wadden Road. Derby working it in, too high for Dobbin. Pym comes out to make the catch, but he's very willing, Dobbin. He'll make the runs. He's a player that's seen Premier League action in the past with Everton, from whom he's on loan. Mansfield get it forward quickly here for Bowery on the edge of the penalty area. Bowery laying it back for Kellen Gordon. Gordon can't get to the byline. Forsyth saw to that. Loose ball ricochets for Thompson, who'll play it forward towards Sibley. Sibley tried to hold it up and then physically being held up himself by Hawkins and by O'Toole, I beg your pardon, and the free kick has been given Derby's way over on the far side inside their own half. 20 to go to half-time. Still 0-0.
Going back to Dobbin, it's the same for Swan as well. This is why it's so good for these young players to go out on loan, experience these against very experienced centre-halves. Won't be as quick as him, won't be as sharp, but can he find a way to get past them? You saw Sims had loan spells from Everton before. Now look what he's doing at Sunderland, and this is why it's been really, really key to their development.
Now, Sims is a tremendous player. Looking forward to watching him tomorrow night, and Sunderland in action at Sheffield Wednesday, live here on TalkSport 2 this time tomorrow. Sims was fantastic at Blackpool in that side that won promotion through the playoffs on loan from Everton. Mansfield in possession with Hewitt, who's the only player on a yellow card so far. Swan's very good with his back to the direction of play as well, and he just dropped off from the forward line there to link up through the midfield for Mansfield, who can bring it comfortably into Derby territory. Now it goes forward for Hartigan. Hartigan into the blonde-haired Lapsley, out towards the right wing back Gordon, and back for O'Toole again. Bowery drops deep to pick up possession and work it back for John Joe O'Toole, and he hits a ranging ball over the top of the young fullback Adoro, but McLaughlin couldn't quite get there. Goes out of play for a throw. Just took a little nick off the Derby defender on his way past. It is a Mansfield throw, about 10 yards from the corner flag. McLaughlin delivers. Has he got a corner? No, he hasn't. No deflection that time, and out of play for a goal kick. Now elsewhere, Salford lead at Bolton 1-0 through Brandon Thomas Asante. Fleetwood 1, Wigan 0, Jed Garner on target. And Swansea have doubled their lead at Oxford. Russell Martin's side 2 up with Liam Cullen scoring the second. Exeter also 2 up away at Cheltenham through Archie Collins. And Saxon Early's given Stevenage the lead at Reading, which will be one of the shocks of the night if it stays that way. A side 2 divisions above them. Paul Ince's men trailing by a 1-0 there. Reading 0, Stevenage 1. Here, Mansfield 0, Derby County 0. And these are the thoughts of Matt Murray.
Well, I think it's been a really, really good game. As Derby on the counter again, attack again.
Sibley, he's got Dobbin in the middle if he can get it across, and he did well. So too though did Hewitt, who just nipped in goal side to get it away from Dobbin. It was good approach play by Derby. Quick ball down the inside left channel, where Sibley had the advantage in terms of pace ahead of Hawkins, but it was good covering from Hewitt to alleviate the danger.
Yeah, it's that high line again, the pace of Derby, and every time you just can't get a breather. It's brilliant, and sometimes when teams make 5 and 7 changes, you wonder how will it affect things. Yes, it's made a little bit of an open game, if you like, and it'll be interesting to see how fitness goes later on, but both teams have been really entertaining, very easy on the eye, like you said earlier.
Header away from the edge of the penalty area from Hawkins. Lapsley picking it up in midfield, but unable to find a teammate. And Derby get it back and work it back again. Wildsmith way outside his own penalty area. All forward into the feet of Rooney. And now play down the line. It's a brilliant ball. Corey Smith, Dobbin is in. Good save. Christy Pym off his line very quickly. He was about 10 yards out by the time he made the save. Dobbin trying to slip it past him. And Pym made himself large, got something behind it. It's a very good goalkeeper.
Yeah, we're right in line with it, aren't we? And the way he made it, he's got his angles bang on. As you say, he came out just at the perfect moment. So then when Dobbin looked up, he just saw that big wall of green, nothing to aim for. I think he might have tried to punch it through his legs, but so he got his blocking process bang on. Very, very good save. And Derby, I know Mansfield hit the bar, but Derby have had the better chances this half.
And they're on the front foot again here. Dobbin can't get hold of that, but it's taken a little nick on its way through, and Derby lead by a 0-0. I think it's going to be Jason Knight that will claim it. The ball came in, Dobbin opened up his right foot, it took a flick on its way through. Knight might have got the last touch, but Derby pick up the ball from the bottom right-hand corner of the net. They lead at Mansfield by a goal to nil.
And it's been coming in that way, and you just feel that this is something that Derby can't have been working on, because they keep getting those runners in behind. Mansfield playing that high line, runners in behind, bodies then in the box. Really, really good ball, whipped across from Sibley. Looked like Dobbin was going to get it, but he sort of missed his kick, and it just sort of seemed to hit Knight as he ran onto it. And that sort of wrong-footed pim, nothing he could do. Bobbled in the net, you don't really care how it comes, and said all these really clean strikes, if you like, off the bar, keeper save, but it bobbles in, and Derby do deserve that, and deservedly 1-0 ahead.
So Jason Knight with the goal on the half-hour mark, and it's Mansfield 0, Derby 1. And Stags have never beaten the Rams in a competitive game in their history. Might find that run will continue for at least another couple of months again. Elsewhere, Exeter have had 3 in 5 minutes at Cheltenham. Matt Jay's got the latest of them. They're 3 up. Wickham lead at Northampton through Joe Jacobson. And here Jason Knight, the Irish international, scored his 12th goal in Derby colours. It's first of the season to give Derby a 1-0 lead at Mansfield. Corey Smith playing it forward again. More good movement from Lewis Dobbin on the right-hand side of the penalty area. This time he has to check and come back out. He'll take it down towards the corner flag, trying to take on Hewitt and get the better of him. McLaughlin has come and doubled up for Mansfield, and he's had the decisive touch to be able to at least guide it back for his teammate Quinn, who can clear. Bowery comes to meet it on halfway, but slightly mistimed his jump, and Derby end up getting a throw, which will be taken on the right-hand side. Adoro is going to take it. Just a slight lack of communication about exactly which way that throw was going, but it has been given, I think, correctly Derby's way. Adoro taking it back towards halfway. Corey Smith has lost out. Mansfield on the front foot very quickly with Bowery. Rooney covering an awful lot of ground very quickly, and he was on the toes of Bowery before he knew it, and steers it away and out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Mansfield left-hand side. He has been really impressive, Jake Rooney.
Oh, you have to credit him, because you get released from a club, then he's obviously had to do his work. He's come in, he's done a bit of training, but to be your first game, he's been excellent.
McLaughlin's ball in, and it's punched away by Wildsmith. It was a vicious ball in, and Wildsmith found himself tangled up in the net for a moment. He's punched it away for a corner. The goal has now officially been credited as an Elliot Hewitt own goal. Mansfield 0, Derby 1. Ipswich 0, Colchester 1. In another local derby tonight, Luke Hannant on target there, and Shrewsbury in the 7:30 kickoff have equalised at home to Carlisle through Luke Lee. Bolton 1, Salford 1 as well, Elias Kachunga. 1-0 to Derby here with the Hewitt own goal. But Mansfield have their first corner. Remember, they've hit the bar at 0-0. Lapsey on the edge of the penalty area. Quinn's there as well. 6 in amber and blue inside that box. Very, very deep delivery. Far too deep. And Adoro, the right back's got time to bring it down under control and get it away. And then Sibley takes a touch and nudges it past his man. And he's forward inside the penalty area here. Dobbin trying to get in there. Lapsley with a potentially goal-saving intervention slides in to stop Sibley getting the cross in and make sure it's nothing worse than a corner. It was a great break and a brilliant piece of defending work by the Mansfield midfielder.
Oh, brilliant tracking back, because the way that Sibley went past the first defender was far too easy. I think it was Gordon, but credit Lapsley, just matched him all the way. But they've got real pace. Sibley, Dobbin, and pace hurts sides, and when you can run in behind, stretch the game like that. But brilliant tracking back.
Huddersfield 0, Preston 3. In comes the corner, deep towards the far post. Stearman keeps it alive. Pym comes out, drops it down towards the edge of the area, and Jason Knight struck it really sweetly, but it went over the bar.
Yeah, the ball dropping to him there. It's one of them, isn't it? If he just kept it down a yard or two, he would have probably burst the back of the net. Interesting that the own goal has been given to Hewitt, because it did look a bit funny how it went in, and Knight, it was a bit of a subdued celebration, wasn't it? He was in there and he probably would have hit him, but it was so hard to see whether it came off Hewitt or Knight. But the fact that they had the bodies in the box, there was nothing Hewitt could do. He had to deal with it in some way, and it was Knight's presence that made him put it in. But I think Derby have been really good.
Yeah, Mansfield had a bright start, but Derby over the last 20-25 minutes have been the better team. And that's notwithstanding the fact that Lapsley's hit the bar for Mansfield. Derby good value for this 1-0 lead. Derby, whose away record is something that they clearly need to improve. After last season, they have lost 11 of the last 12 games on the road, and were beaten at the weekend at Charlton. Won their season opener at home to Oxford, whilst Mansfield lost at Salford but beat Tranmere at the weekend. Elsewhere, Grimsby 2, Crewe 0, Luton 1, Newport 0. Rangers game still 0-0 with the Saint-Gilloise of Belgium, so they're 2-0 down on aggregate. And Derby lead here at Mansfield by a goal to 0. Stearman. Wildsmith backpedals inside his own penalty area. Stearman was under all kinds of pressure from Swan. Stearman found his keeper. His keeper found touch, and Derby have got themselves out of a tight little area there. They're put under all kinds of pressure, but it's a throw to Mansfield.
Yeah, and it's good when the goalkeeper plays high and he gives you that extra option, but sometimes when the distances are too close, it allows the striker to press the defender and then go straight onto the goalkeeper and really affect both. And I think that was the one there where the distances just weren't right, and nearly caused a mess.
Now Knight's got it in the midfield, and he's found Corey Smith. Dobbin to his left-hand side, wanted the pass to be played. Smith hesitated for half a second, and that was critical because it allowed Hewitt the opportunity to come back and get it off his toes and put it out of play for another Derby corner.
Again, a really dangerous position, and Hewitt just did enough, but he just felt, was the pass a little bit slow, or I think Smith could have just met it and been a bit more decisive, and then he would have towed it past him, could maybe win a penalty. But again, so dangerous, because if Corey Smith was in there, I think he rolls it across to Dobbin, and I just love Dobbin's movement. He reminds me a bit of Plange last season, who did well, who got the move to Palace. But yeah, this Dobbin, I think he's got a big future from what I'm seeing tonight.
Wycombe go 2-0 up at Northampton. Derby hoping to go 2-0 up here at Mansfield with this corner. She's swung in, headed down, poked towards goal by Dobbin, half cleared. Out as far again as Sibley, right hand side of the area. He's done well to chip it in with his right foot, but Hartigan's there to head it away, and it goes out for a throw. Dobbin very nearly right on cue, on target.
Yeah, and Nigel Clough will be fuming. Again, clever play from Derby. They're missing out Big Hawkins whenever they're putting the corners in, but they've had first contacts on both corners, the last two corners. The one where Stearman nodded it in, dangerous. That one there, dangerous, and a very good save from the legs of Pym, because it's come through bodies and he's done well there. But 2-0 before half-time would have been a mountain to climb for Mansfield, and Derby are well in control, very much in charge of this game, but it is still only 1-0.
Rooney works it to the Derby left-hand side for Forsyth. Dobbin, lovely turn. Knight just waiting for the ball to come to him. Quinn has intercepted it, brought down by Will Swan. Swan has played it back in behind Hewitt, but he's got time to rescue it, the Welshman. And will take a couple of touches inside his own penalty area, but drive it clear of Dobbin, forward towards halfway. Exeter have a fourth, 4 in 12 minutes. Cheltenham 0, Exeter 4. Mansfield 0, Derby 1 here, but a free kick that the Stags will take over on the far touchline. Lewis Collins has equalised for Newport at Luton. Luton 1, Newport 1. Newport taking, Mansfield, I beg your pardon, taking the free kick too quickly for referee Andy Kitchen's liking. They're going to have to take it again over on the far touchline. Derby bring Dobbin back, everybody now back behind the ball as they defend this Mansfield set piece. Just clipped in, good one as well, in towards Bowery, but he's offside. Well, the idea was right, but Bowery's starting position was wrong.
Yeah, and it's a good line from Derby, but Bowery will be disappointed with himself there, because you could clearly that's what they were looking for, because you sometimes think when you got Hawkins, Mansfield going to whip it in, but they could see they were looking for the clever one. He shouldn't really be offside there. Experienced player, and he's had plenty of time now to get up to speed. All right, in the warm-up maybe, mine not quite on it when you've got Aikens, thinking he's starting, but he's had plenty of time, and Bowery will be disappointed there.
Gordon's beaten in the air by Forsyth, but the ball only goes through for Pym, the Mansfield goalkeeper. Bowls it out now for Hewitt. Hewitt, who's had a yellow card and an own goal in an inauspicious first half. Derby leading, and on the front foot with Smith. Smith, the former Bristol City and Swansea player. Back for Rooney. Rooney to Cashin inside the centre circle. Back for Wildsmith. That's Bradford equalise at home to Hull through Andy Cook. Wildsmith and Stearman again playing their way out from the back, and Will Swan was there inviting the pressure. Ball is chipped forward by Stearman. It was a good touch by Liam Rosenior, actually, on the edge of the technical area. Stopped the throw being taken quickly by getting his head to it and nodded it into the dugout.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was funny, and you could see, though, his frustration as well, because they're trying to build and invite the press, but they didn't quite get it right. And Stearman, that's what it was. When the goalkeeper was actually higher than the defender, when he wanted to go back to him, he just couldn't, and ends up under pressure, and Rosenior wasting time there.
Now Dobbin, is he offside? Yes, he is. Ball was worked forward, clicked on by Knight, and Dobbin just went a fraction too early and drew the offside flag. That play's going to be pulled back. Sibley has gone down, and the referee just needs to make sure that he's okay.
I think O'Toole will get a yellow card for that. I think it was a late one, as he went to flick it on. O'Toole, the experienced defender, don't think he's a stranger to the odd booking and sending off John Joe O'Toole, but yeah, he just caught Sibley there, and the referee brought it back, so yeah, give him the free kick instead of the offside.
Yeah, O'Toole is another player who has got good experience in this competition. Way back in the day when he was a teenager, got into the quarterfinals of the League Cup with Watford. He's in his 34th year now. Nearly half his life ago, that cup run through to the last 8. Mansfield, who themselves have got to the quarterfinals of this competition once, back in 1975. The ball is driven forward here over the top of Sibley. Goes out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Pym for Mansfield. We've got more live Premier League action coming your way on Saturday. Villa against Everton kicks off at 12:30. Reshman Chowdhury in the chair. From 11 o'clock, Nigel Adderley and Trevor Sinclair, your commentary team from Villa Park. Conor Cody may well be making his debut. You can hear his thoughts about his loan move from Wolves to Everton on the TalkSport breakfast tomorrow over on TalkSport. And it starts with Laura Al-Ali and Gabby Agbonlahor from 6 tomorrow morning over on TalkSport. Atkinson 1, Tranmere 0. 1-0 Derby leading here at Mansfield with McLaughlin in possession. Can't get the better of Aduro. Quinn very quickly on the scene. High, awkward ball in. Wildsmith got it away. And then as it's volleyed towards goal, really sweetly struck by the left foot of O'Toole on the edge of the penalty area. Wildsmith can dive to his right and make a relatively comfortable save. 1-0 Derby.
He's made it look comfortable, but they're not always easy, those, because obviously the punches come in and then it's through bodies in front of him, but very good hands, just soft hands to kill it. And yeah, he's made it look really comfortable, but sometimes you can see when bodies in front of you, the low one, it can go through keepers. But yeah, decent strike from O'Toole, to be fair. Either side of him might have caused him a few more problems, but yeah, made it look very routine in the end.
MK Dons 1, Sutton United 0. Couple of minutes to go to half time here in Nottinghamshire, where the floodlights are beginning to take effect. No sunshine on the pitch now, a little bit of wispy cloud over here. We've got a great view, this much the tallest of the stands here at the One Call Stadium, and so you can see the eastern side of the town of Mansfield stretching into the distance, and the trees all around as well, very picturesque. Bowery has possession for Mansfield over on the far touchline. He's got Swan making a run for him. Quinn is there wanting the ball into feet. Lapsley's come forward, and Lapsley will find Quinn. Quinn now played down to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Then Hewitt had a simple ball to find McLaughlin, but he overhit it, and a chance for Mansfield to whip it in from a very good position has come to nothing.
Yeah, they worked the switch well, created the overload on this side, took Derby over, and then worked it into Hewitt, and it wasn't a difficult pass, it really wasn't. It was a tired pass in the end because McLaughlin's held the space wrong. Ball could be rolled in, running onto it first time. Lots and lots of yellow shirts in there, and yeah, out for a goal kick, and opportunity gone.
Well, it's difficult as far as the managers are concerned. You look at this competition, of course, being a series of games that you want to win, and I think cup competitions have come back into vogue. But that said, there's still a chance that is crucial to get miles in the legs of some of the fringe members of your squad. I wonder whether Harbottle for Hewitt is a substitution that Mansfield might be thinking about at half-time. Swan gets it back from Hartigan. Neat turn. Can he get himself into a shooting position? Tiptoeing his way through. And the finish ended up going into the midriff of Wildsmith, but it was brilliant approach play. He got it, he turned, he took on a couple, and still had the strength to be able to hold off his man, but just on the stretch, couldn't divert the ball either side of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, as you say, the way he turned and he wriggled, the strength, balance, a bit of everything, and it just, as those white shirts converged, he just thought, if it had just sat for him, he maybe got a little toe poke in, but in the end he couldn't connect on it properly and was an easy save. But really, he's looked so sharp, hasn't he?
Tranmere have gone 2 down at Accrington. Bolton have taken the lead at home to Salford in one of the local derbies tonight. 2-1 there. And another local derby here in the East Midlands. It's 1-0 to Derby as we go into a minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Elliot Hewitt's own goal on the half-hour mark is the difference between the two teams. Ball over on the right-hand side with O'Toole. Hartigan controls it, chips it over the top, but can't get it down the side of Cashin. Swan giving chase, and Cashin turns it under a little bit of pressure, but off Swan. A few on this side of the ground thought that might be a corner, but it did hit the Mansfield man last, and it's a goal kick, which will be taken with probably the last kick of the half by Joe Wildsmith.
Yeah, good pressing from Swan, but you could just see the way Wildsmith reacted when it came back. He knew it was going to be a goal kick. But it's been a good half. Mansfield obviously had a few chances, but all in all, Derby deserved their lead. Could have been more, dominated well, but yeah, really, really good.
And Joe Wildsmith's goal kick is indeed the end of the first half. It's been a very good spectacle. Mansfield starting brightly, but Derby began to get themselves into the ascendancy. Lapsley hit the bar at 0-0 midway through the half, but then a good break down the Derby left-hand side. Sibley's ball in. It was missed by both Dobbin and Knight, but hit inadvertently. Hewitt on its way through, and that's the difference between the two teams at half-time. Derby leading by a goal to 0. So Mansfield lining up Pym in goal, O'Toole, Hawkins and Hewitt, Gordon, Lapsley, Maris, Clark, McLaughlin, Swan and Bowery. Derby Wildsmith in goal, Aduro, Stearman, Cashin and Forsyth, Knight, Rooney and Smith, and then a front three of Knight, Dobbin and Sibley. O'Toole slightly missing his kick as we get back underway for the second half. Gordon's able to bring the ball forward through the midfield here, and he'll take on Thompson. There's some ball inside the penalty area. Right-footed effort, took a deflection, Swan puts it in, but the flag is up. Mansfield with the ball in the net, 35 seconds into the second half, but it doesn't count.
So it looks like, obviously, they've made changes in personnel, but also, has Hawkins gone up front now? It looks like he's gone as a centre forward, and it's a sore one for Joe Wildsmith, because as the strike came in from the edge of the box, he sort of took a nick, which then meant the ball hit Wildsmith right in his Adam's apple, right in the throat. Ball then drops down. Swan, lively on the move, fires the ball home. Difficult finish. But yeah, Wildsmith, at least all the pain he's in isn't for no reason, because there's nothing worse as a keeper when you make a decent save and then someone just fires it straight back in your net. But yeah, it's a sore one this, but it just sort of took his wind a little.
So he's down receiving treatment away to our right-hand side. It was a good save. It did just take a little nick. It came then back off him. That was a decent finish from Swan, but the flag was up. And yeah, you're right. Hawkins has moved up front, and Bowery, who played up front in the first half, is now playing at centre half. If you look even at the 2.5 games that Mansfield have played this season, the fluidity in terms of the positions of so many players, very hard to predict necessarily how they're going to line up. Then Bowery's played at right wing back, centre forward, right wing, and at centre half. This season already.
Yeah, and there's 3 games in. It just keeps you guessing, and that's what happens. You see the team sheet, and it'll be the same for the opposition. They'll look at the team sheet, think, oh, how are they going to set up? Then, even coming out with the second half, they'll be looking at it thinking, well, surely they're going to go more direct into Hawkins. There'll be reasons for it. But yeah, really lively start from Mansfield. They came out the traps very quickly.
So after a couple of minutes of treatment, we're back underway. Ball played for by Wildsmith, who's okay now. Gordon, and then he squares up in the midfield to Thompson, is it? Sibley, I beg your pardon. And the two of them just continue to have a word. They will know each other very well, having been in the same youth team at Derby together, where Gordon made one appearance for the Rams before his move here. And then Sibley's come back and has caught Gordon again. and the referee is going to have to calm things down. The free kick given, Sibley then leant over Gordon and just muttered something, and it's just beginning to get a little bit feisty.
Yeah, and well, they're not many miles apart, are they? And the big, near enough a full house, and as you say, they do know each other, so maybe they got a bit of needle from the youth team when they were there together. Don't think he's going to go in the book. The ref just needs to have a word, say calm down. But this now is a free kick in a very, very dangerous position. Maris is over it. He's going to be right-footed in, swinging and aim for that second 6-yard box in between penalty spot and 6-yard line. Dangerous, dangerous moment. Good start from Mansfield.
So Bowery stay back. Nearly everybody else has gone forward. Maris very deep. Great ball. Headed back across the face of goal. Off the bar. Driven wide by McLaughlin. Great start of the second half for Mansfield. They've had one disallowed and they've hit the woodwork.
Yeah, and I thought it'd be one whipped in a little bit more, not quite as deep as that, but that was really, really deep. Obviously a clear ploy. Hawkins pulls off round the back, really, really good header back across. Wildsmith is obviously moving in the other direction, can't change his body weight, and comes back off the bar, and then McLaughlin couldn't sort his feet out. He had a lot of bodies in the way, to be fair, and now it's interesting again. Wildsmith's thinking, whoa, we just come straight away under pressure, let me just try and take the sting out of it, and the referee said, no time wasting, you're only a couple of minutes into the half.
It's been played briskly back to him by Thompson. Wildsmith will get it clear, and there's whack ball by Cashin straight into Hawkins defending from the front, and goes out of play for a Derby throw, but it's still hemmed in their left back position down on this near touchline away to our right. Derby in their white shirts with the black trim, and they're kicking from right to left in this second half, leading courtesy of an Elliot Hewitt own goal on the half-hour mark. Gordon bring it forward for Mansfield, little nutmeg of Forsyth. Cashin comes across the cover. Gordon has a little pull at his shirt. Referee spotted that, and Andy Kitchen's given a free kick to Derby County. 5 gone second half. You're on TalkSport 2. Mansfield 0, Derby 1. Here's Matt Murray.
Yeah, so really good tempo, real intent from Mansfield, and we felt that they started the first half well, and then it seemed like Derby were having a lot of controlled possession. And I think Nigel Clough's just said at half time, he's tweaked the formation a little, obviously moved Hawkins up front, and they're just getting a lot more contact higher at the pitch, and there you go. Wildsmith, I warned you, the referee said, and he just took his time walking over to take this free kick, and rightly so, he's in the book.
So Joe Wildsmith booked for time wasting, the third player to have his name taken tonight. O'Toole, who's one of the others, heads the ball away. And Mansfield got a free kick after a push in the back of Lapsley, and Maris stands over it. One of those games in Europe, Dinamo Zagreb 4, Ludogorets 2 it is now, but Ludogorets have had 3 sent off, down to 8 and going out. Rangers still leading by 1 goal to 0. That's not enough as things stand. Mansfield in their amber shirts with the blue sleeves and the blue shorts, kicking from left to right, and they're in possession. Sibley is down, the ball's put out of play so that he can receive whatever treatment is necessary. One medical prognosis from immediately behind us suggests that he's fine. And I think it's a good prognosis as well. He is now back on his feet. He's not going to need any treatment. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't, the referee looks at him and he don't need to put the ball out of play now. It's a bit, of course, you say, oh, good sportsmanship, but you don't need to. The referee's decided it was fine. The referee got it right. Got a little bit of treatment. He's still not even gone off the pitch. The referee's saying gone off the pitch. And this is all gamesmanship from Derby, because they realise how quickly, and the Mansfield in the ascendancy, the crowd are up. Obviously both teams now attacking their fans. That always does make a difference. Let's see. I'm sure Sibley will be fine, and maybe he's got a little bit of blood. He's getting treated.
Yeah, Derby need to take the sting out of it, without a shadow of a doubt, because it's been a really good start to the second half for Mansfield. There's no doubt that at half-time the Rams deserved their lead, but Mansfield have been the better team in this second half, and they'll bring it forward again now with Hawkins, who started at centre-half but now playing up front, playing it forward. It's flicked down the left-hand side of the Mansfield midfield. Rooney, who's now got a shirt with no number on in this second half, is able to get it away. Jake Rooney, who's making his debut for Derby after his move yesterday, or after signing yesterday. Thompson can mop up for Derby. He's played it back for Cashin, who's put under pressure. Derby still temporarily down to 10. Sibley's not back on the field yet, but he will be in a moment. The ball is cleared, and Sibley also is going to come on. I can't remember the last time I saw that. 2 players in blood shirts without a number or a name.
Yeah, true, yeah.
I mean, one is not particularly common, but 2 in the same team is a blue moon occurrence. Ball inside the penalty area, knocked away, goes out to the Mansfield left-hand side where Clark can pick it up. He'll go back for Maris. Maris has been forced back. He's positioned the heart of the midfield, lays it back for Barry. Barry slipping it in. Swan on the inside left channel, tries to get it across towards Hawkins. Adoro survives a handball shout, but he's given it away. Clark trying to get to the byline and work it in. It's well defended by Cashin. Great strength from the young Irishman in being able to protect the space, let the ball run over the line, and out of play for a goal kick. 9 gone second half. Mansfield 0, Derby 1. You can tell by the intensity of the support that the home side are much more in the contest in this second half.
Yeah, and they sort of feed off each other, don't they? The team have come out, really lifted it, got after Derby, and the fans are reacting to that. And yeah, like you say, Derby need to try and take the sting out of it. They really do, because if they get a goal, Mansfield, this place is going to absolutely erupt.
Well, the time wasting is still going on. What they have done, Derby County, cleverly, to facilitate a little bit more time wasting, Cashin, the centre half, is now taking the goal kicks. He'll take it short to go back to his goalkeeper, but he's the one that is running the risk of getting on the wrong side of the referee now, because clearly the goalkeeper can't do that. Cheltenham 0, Exeter 6. Wow. 6 goals in 27 minutes. Well, that thrills a Torquay fan, that does. The ball will be played forward by Barry, down towards the right-hand side for Gordon. And Gordon wins the throw for Mansfield. Lincoln are 2 up at Doncaster. Stockport have taken the lead at Harrogate with a Connor Jennings penalty. And this one remains 1-0 to Derby County after that first half own goal from Hewitt. O'Toole played forward towards Maris. Maris clipping it in. Oh, it's a good ball. It beats one, but Hawkins chests it down and volleys it into the bottom right-hand corner. An outstanding finish from Ollie Hawkins. Mansfield deserved that for a very impressive second half performance. And it's dead level again at 1-1.
And I think you have to credit Nigel Clough so much. I'd love to know what he said inside that dressing room. Probably said, don't keep showing them so much respect. You showed early on in it. You get after these, they can make mistakes. He's made changes to personnel, double substitution. And it's Maris who ripped the ball in there. And Hawkins has now gone up front. I feel that having Bowery at the back with his pace is nullifying Dobbin more, and Hawkins up front has been a real threat. But wow, what a touch and what a finish! Absolutely top draw.
And Mansfield had their tails up. They're on the front foot again with Clark laying it back from the Clockland. Back heel flick, took it away from the fullback. Clark whips it in. Wildsmith comes out and catches it. Preston go 4 up at Huddersfield. Forest Green 2 up at home to Leyton Orient. And 1-1 the scoreline here. It's in towards Hawkins again. But Wildsmith comes out and again shows a clean pair of hands, able to catch it, and will just try and calm things down. 11 gone second half. Mansfield 1, Derby 1.
Well, we said it would erupt, and just listen to that noise. It was massive, wasn't it? It was amazing. And but they say they sensed it was coming. But what's good there about Mansfield, they haven't sat back. They kept going. They can sense blood, and they know they can get that second. And but I feel Hawkins being there, being that focal point, putting himself around. But such a big man who's great in the air. That was brilliant. That was Peter Crouch-like, the way he touched and bang in the bottom corner. Keeper, no chance.
They scored against Middlesbrough here in the FA Cup last season. Did Ollie Hawkins, one of 9 goals that he's now scored for Mansfield. And more recently sent off in the League 2 playoff final against Port Vale. But he's scored tonight, and it's 1-1 here between the Stags and the Rams at the One Call Stadium. More live football for you tomorrow. TalkSport will have Adrian Durham around the grounds We'll have the build-up starting here on TalkSport 2 from 6, ahead of another busy night of action, including Plymouth against Peterborough, Real Madrid against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Super Cup, and Sheffield Wednesday against Sunderland, which is our live game here this time tomorrow on TalkSport 2. It's got a fair bit to live up to after this one tonight. Luton 2, Newport 1, at Kenilworth Road, Tom Lockyer, and one apiece here, Matt Murray.
Yeah, really good game, and you just wonder now, will Liam Rossini make changes? Does he, we've had 7 changes he made going into this game, some of them tiring, there's obviously say 2 with blood shirts on, because he needs to try and get a foothold back in this game and get that possession back and look of threat, because at the moment it's Derby who can't string more than 2 or 3 passes together.
And Dobbins offside as they try and get it into him. He's seen very little of it in the second half so far. And the Derby bench is really strong. Howrahan, Barkhuizen, Bird, Collins, Mendes-Lang, Roberts, Robinson. Some big names there. Plenty of experience.
You make 5 changes. You want to be getting minutes into players, and of course there's going to be no extra time. But yeah, he's definitely got the firepower. And I just feel, it's getting to the hour mark now. This is a time that managers often make changes. Be interesting what the sports science are saying as well, because they usually like to have a word about who needs to come on.
Lapses in strongly. Rooney did well to win it back there for Derby. Thompson, a diminutive blonde-haired character in the Derby midfield, goes back for much taller Cashin. Cashin forward for Rooney, back for Cashin again. Cashin plays it down the inside left channel where Sibley chases, but Gordon's there first and gets it back to his goalkeeper, and Pym just side foots it calmly out of the penalty area for Maris at the heart of the Mansfield midfield. We played an hour, 1-1. Difficult to call from here, but it's Mansfield that have the momentum at the moment. Remember, if it's level after the end of the 90, we go straight to penalties. Ollie Clark for Mansfield. A couple of step-overs on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Forced to lay the ball back, but he'll get it back again instantly over on that left-hand side. Swings it in. Gordon coming round the back, checked it back, and he comes off for sight and goes out for the first corner of the second half to Mansfield.
Yeah, classic wing-back play there, getting in at the back post, totally unmarked, and if he could have got it across, he had Hawkins and Swan just waiting for a tap-in, but I think he was in 2 minds. Should he have headed it, but he went for the volley back across, blocked out, corner now, but yes, as you say, momentum totally with the home side.
Corner taken short, Gordon in towards the far post, and McLaughlin, all he could do was get his head to it. It became a looping header into the fray and was easily claimed by Joe Wildsmith. Jonathan Lecco pulls one back for Birmingham, but they still trail 2-1 at Norwich. Grimsby 3, Crewe 0, and Chankazimba's equalised for Newport at Luton, 2 apiece. 1-1 here. Reading trailing at home to Stevenage in what will be one of the shock scorelines of the night if they stay as they are. Rangers still with work to do with half an hour to go at Ibrox. They trail 1-0 lead 1-0 on the night, I beg your pardon, but they're 2-1 down on aggregate. They've just scored a second. Rangers 2, Saint-Gilloise 0, 2-2 on aggregate, and Rangers still alive in the Champions League. 1-1 here at the One Call Stadium, Field Mill. Derby in possession in their right back area with Stearman. Stearman clearing it. It's ricocheted off a Mansfield player. Put in by Hawkins, but the flag is up after good work from Swan. Eventually it's deflected onto the bar from Maris's effort, but the offside flag was long since up.
Yeah, and with there being no VAR, I wonder why they waited so long to put the flag up, because thinking there's no point in letting it run on. It's not like they're going to run back and check it. But but again, it's Derby trying to build from the back. Mansfield setting the press. Liam Rossini must be there. I'm not surprised they're making these changes, because Liam Rossini was thinking, we've got to change it, we can't get out, and before they know it they're going to be behind, and he'll be scratching his head. The game has totally changed. Mansfield's from the first kick-off have been absolutely fantastic, right from the start of the second half.
Tom Barkhuizen is on, and Nathaniel Mendes-Lang is coming on as well, and the men replaced Rooney and Sibley. So Mendes-Lang, the high five of Rooney as he comes off. It's been a decent debut for him. He's very impressive in the first half, particularly Jake Rooney. Good days ahead in the Derby shirt, you'd think. But the two men coming on for Derby, both summer signings. Mendes-Lang, who arrived from Sheffield Wednesday. Barkhausen from Preston, after more than 200 appearances in 5.5 years there. He's got a really good record in this competition as well, actually. He's got 5 goals in his last 7 League Cup ties. Tom Barkhausen, who wears 7 and is on the left flank for Derby. 1-1 the scoreline as the darkness begins to fall here in Nottinghamshire. Mansfield bring it forward and do so well with McLaughlin, who continues his run forward. Then he's just given a little shove by Corey Smith and he's won a free kick on halfway. Yeah, he certainly bought that one, but he did have hands in his back. But they should, Liam Rossini is now going to hope that these experienced players can, one, get a bit of control and help, but also on the counter-attack. They've both got real pace, they've both got quality. Mendes-Lang was a young lad at Wolves when I was there. Barkhausen I worked with at Blackpool when he was a young kid coming through, and you knew both of them were going to go on and have good careers. Smith out towards Mendes-Lang. And Mendes-Lang has got plenty of green grass ahead of him to try and attack it. He's got plenty of pace to do it as well. Ball played in. Big handball shout from the Derby fans in the north stand away to our left. It's not given, it's a corner rather than the penalty they crave. And Mendes-Lang didn't really appeal, did he? So that would be, for me, the sort of giveaway. But Barkhausen now straight on the set piece, but he just saw there with Mendes-Lang's pace. Dobbin running for the middle, Barkhausen on the other side, and that's the pace that Liam Rossini wants to try and get him up the pitch. They were a threat in the first half from set pieces. Let's see how they do this time. Joe Piggott's given Portsmouth the lead at Cardiff, 1-0. In comes the corner from the right-hand side. Well headed away by O'Toole for Mansfield. And then Thompson's missed it, and the counter-attack could be on. Swan trying to bustle his way through, and Corey Smith did enough. It was a good recovery run from him, and he has in fact even won the throw in trying to clear it. It's flicked off one of the Mansfield men and out for a throw to Derby midway inside their own half. Yeah, and Derby obviously had bodies forward for the corner, tried to break Mansfield, and Swan, you know that he's so sharp and he backs himself, but yeah, Corey Smith, it looked like he kicked the ball off him. But again, now Derby giving the ball away. They're the ones that in this second half have been very loose in possession, but I think it's also big credit to Mansfield for how they pressed and forced the mistakes. Bolton 3, Salford 1. 20 minutes gone in the second half here. Mansfield 1, Derby 1. Live on 6 a.m. tomorrow morning on 10:89 or 10:53 a.m. on DAB via the TalkSport app and TalkSport Edge. It's the TalkSport Breakfast with Laura Woods, Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor. Great to hear this morning the Wales and Bournemouth striker Kiefer Moore live on the show after his goal against Villa in the Premier League. A player released by Torquay United when he was about 16. I think he ended up at Paignton Saints. He's now scored. He's never played in League 2, but he scored in the Premier League, the Championship, League 1, the National League and the National League South as well. He scored in 5 of the top 6 English divisions. All of the ones he's played in he's scored in, which is a good record. He was on breakfast this morning. Connor Cody's on tomorrow morning, incidentally. He'll be talking about his move from Wolves to Everton, how it came about, and his hopes for the season and those of Everton as well. And that's on the TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow morning. Stop mentioning Connor Cody, all right? Keeps breaking my heart that he's leaving Wolves. Leaving Wolves for now. Well, maybe not. The ball goes out towards the right, chased by Gordon, can't keep it in, and goes out of play. He's actually kicked the loose ball down the tunnel, which is not quite uniquely, but it doesn't happen in many places, at the corner of the ground here at the One Call Stadium. And it's gone out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken away to our right-hand side by Wildsmith. Still good volume and intensity in the Mansfield support here. 1-1 with a quarter of the game remaining here on TalkSport 2. Yeah, it's a big club, isn't it? It's a big club in League 2, and I say they're so close to going up to League 1. They've been right behind their team. Record season ticket sales. They like what they see from their side. They like the brand of football. They like the commitment, and they're sensing that they can go and win this game. And first time ever to beat Derby County, and what a big scalp that would be, and bragging rights in this area as well. Yeah, that would be a big thing when the meetings between the pair of them have been so rare, and it's only 25 miles from one to the other up the A38. Long ball forward over the top by O'Toole. It's a peach of a ball chested down by McLaughlin, but that touch was a little bit heavy. You get a second bite of the cherry away from Maduro. Clark tries his luck. It's blocked. It's back for Clark. That one's blocked again by Stearman, who dived in. Good defending from the veteran. At no thought of personal cost there. And Stearman knew that he had to end up wearing it to keep it at 1-1, and he did exactly that.
Vintage Richard Stearman. He used to do those sessions back in the day with Wolves. Mick McCarthy used to call it Rambo defending. Go and put your body on the line, and that's what he did there. One block, because brilliant recovery from the young fullback. Then he gave it away, but Stearman then got out. Not one, but two fantastic blocks. Age is only a number.
And then clearly you have to get back to your feet without wincing. That is the last part of the drill, and he managed that as well. Oh, more pressure being applied by the Mansfield midfield on Derby as they try and play out from the back, and it very nearly caused problems. Derby survive it, and Stearman calms things down and lays it out towards Mendes-Lang on the right. And he'll bring it forward through the midfield for Dobbin. Dobbin's got Barkhausen making a run ahead of him. Well, Mansfield win it back with Clark. O'Toole's ball over the top, brought down in the midfield by Clark, but he missed Lapsley from close range. And Derby win it back with Cashin. And out it will go to Mendes-Lang once more on the right. Shrewsbury 2, Carlisle 1. That game's only got 10 minutes to go. 7:30 kick-off. Derby on the front foot. Mendes-Lang deep ball in. Barkhausen 2-1. He cannot stop scoring in this competition. 6 in 8 for him in the League Cup. And against the run of play, Derby County have regained their advantage. Mansfield 1, Derby 2. Clean pair of heels down the right-hand side. Put on a plate for Barkhausen, who obliged from close range.
That is what you call inspired substitutions, I believe. Mendes-Lang down the right combines with the other substitute, Barkhausen, coming in at the back post, but Mendes-Lang, credit him, the pace there to go on the outside and then stand up a beautiful cross that takes out the goalkeeper. All Barkhausen has to do is get a good contact on it, head it down, and as you say, against the run of play. But when you can bring firepower like that off the bench, proven championship, Mendes-Lang's playing the Premier League, that real quality, that pace, he can hurt sides. And let's see how Mansfield react now. I still think Horahan might come on for Derby just to try and give him that bit of control, but brilliant from the two subs.
One finding the other, and Derby back ahead. Parity lasted only 13 minutes. Mansfield have it all to do again if they're going to be able to get themselves at least to penalties. That was a late challenge on Gordon, just on the halfway line. He's going to be back on his feet without the need for treatment. Just pulls his shorts up, rubs his right thigh with his right hand. Free kick which will be taken by O'Toole at the back for Mansfield. Carlisle have equalised at Shrewsbury there, 2-2. Ball floated forward towards the edge of the box. Swan trying to make something happen for Mansfield. It's cleared from the edge of the penalty area. Brought back down in the midfield. Ball over the top by O'Toole. And chased after by Hawkins, but he couldn't keep it in. Mentioned earlier, this is the oldest professional football ground in the world. I bet it's the only one that quotes on one of the walls in one of the vomitories Russian composer Dmitri Shostakovich. Who? Well, you and many others, big man. But football is the ballet of real life, Dmitri Shostakovich said. And that is emblazoned downstairs and just by one of the refreshment stores.
Did you read that in Russian as well? That's how cultured you are, isn't it?
You really don't know me very well, do you? The ball's gone out of play for a throw over on the far side, which Aduro's going to take. 2-1 Derby leading here with 18 minutes to go. Rangers 2 up against Saint-Gilloise. Remember, if you want the goals as they go in and the reports of those goals, you can reach in right now on the TalkSport app. Just flick to TalkSport. Adrian Dome going around the grounds for you right now with all the details of these goals. But we'll keep you abreast of the scorelines here on TalkSport 2, where a really good cup tie stands at Mansfield 1, Derby 2. And the hills and the trees are just silhouetted against a darker backdrop now here in the East Midlands. The lights all around as night falls. Mansfield are going to make another change. And it's Hawkins that is coming off, and he's going to be replaced by number 18, Rhys Oates, who also, like Hawkins, scored against Borough in the FA Cup here last season, one of the 11 goals that he scored. He's been carrying an ankle injury, but he comes on here for his 50th Mansfield appearance. Derby are also going to make a change. Dobbin is coming off, and he's going to be replaced by the experienced Irish international striker James Collins, who scored a hat-trick in the first round for Luton a couple of years ago, and he's going to come on here for Dobbin. So a change apiece up front.
Again, you have to look at that Derby bench, the power, the firepower. You know, that's a full international who scored goals at, you know, League 2, League 1, Championship. Didn't quite work for him at Cardiff to be coming off the bench, and again, when the game's getting stretched, he'll believe he gets a chance. Hawkins, I thought, had been great, but come off, and still this game, there's still going to be chances in this tie. You really do believe that.
Yeah, when you can bring on a player who scored 184 senior goals in his career, it's a decent situation to be in. Ball play down towards the right for Mendes Lang, but who's overhit, goes out for a throw that will be taken on the Mansfield left. Huddersfield 1, Preston 4. Jordan Rhodes has pulled one back, and Portsmouth have doubled their lead at Cardiff. That'll be one of the shocks tonight, seemingly. Cardiff 0, Portsmouth 2. Reading also treading against their lower league opposition at home. Reading 0, Stevenage 1 still the score, but Ronan Curtis's penalty has doubled Portsmouth's lead. Oxford have one back at home to Swansea with the midfielder Alex Gorin, the Spaniard, has scored there. The ball is with Joe Wildsmith, much the busier of the two goalkeepers in this second half. And the Derby man gets it away. High ball play forward, giving Collins something to attack. One number 9 beats the other in the air, with Bowery wearing 9 but playing centre half for Mansfield, heading it clear from Collins, and it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Mansfield left hand side. 15 minutes to go. What does Nigel Clough need to do in terms of doing something to influence how this game might progress from here? His side have still been the better team, but they need to create a few more chances.
Yeah, I think got to keep trying to press Derby and set those traps, but
Mendes Lang will bring it forward for Derby, winning it back very cheaply in the midfield. Mendes Lang checks and then tries to cut back again to take on Hewitt. Step over, takes it towards the byline. Hewitt stands his ground, doesn't commit himself, and the ball comes off McLaughlin and goes into the big scoreboard on the far side of the ground, and out of play for a Derby throw.
Yeah, I think Mansfield have to keep doing what they were doing in the way of pressing high and believing, and obviously they're going to have to start putting more bodies forward and risk conceding that third, but they've got to go for it sooner rather than later. Believe that they can get a set piece. I think Hawkins going off is probably calculated, but big miss. Ball inside the box again for Derby, in it just broke behind the men attacking it. Mansfield are able to get it away and work it forward towards Swan. Swan has got Oates making a run ahead of him. Swan tried to take on Corey Smith, who was too experienced to let that happen, and he won it back. Barkhausen, goal scorer and the match winner at the moment, lays it back forward for Forsyth. Forsyth under a little bit of pressure, does get it away, released at the last moment. Bowery showing his pace, he's got more of it than Barkhausen, and is able to get it back to his goalkeeper. Pym clears for O'Toole. O'Toole under pressure from Collins, got the shattered man on and he did it in time, laid it back for Bowery, then worked forward through the midfield. Smith is caught, play goes on with Adoro, and the right back for Derby is making his debut tonight, not just for Derby but his senior club debut. Runs around it, lays it back via a defender to his goalkeeper, and Wildsmith will play it for Cashin, and they'll bring it forward again. Shrewsbury 3-2 up at home to Carlisle now in that topsy-turvy game in Shropshire. Shea Dunkley with what might be the winner with only a couple of minutes to go. We've got 14 to go here, and it's Mansfield Town 1, Derby County 2.
And a big blow for Nigel Clough is, you talked about the pace there of Bowery, and he's playing centre half. Aitkins pulled out in the warm-up. That'd be a change that he'd have really liked to have had, if Aitkins had been able to start, maybe played around an hour, 70 minutes, and imagine Bowery then being able to come on at some time and affect the game with fresh legs. So that is something that definitely, has hindered Nigel Clough, if you like. But I think Bowery's done very well as a central defender, but maybe you'll see him go back higher up the pitch in the last, 10 minutes or so.
Crawley lead Bristol Rovers 1-0. Tom Nichols, the deadlock broken in Sussex. Ball is swept down towards the Mansfield right. Gordon going up for it. And he's beaten in the air there by Forsyth. And it's out of play for a throw, which Gordon takes and takes quickly. Too quickly. Maris quickly converged upon by two Derby players, and he lost out. Jason Knight breaks speedily down the left, and he's flicked the ball off the retreating Maris, and he goes out of play for a Derby throw. So there'll be no hurry to take about 7 or 8 yards from the corner flag. Derby leading this by 2-1, and Forsyth just leans over the white line with his feet the other side of it, picks up the ball, spins it on the palm of his right hand, and now takes the throw. Worked in towards the Barkhausen, trying to turn on the edge of the penalty area. Mansfield get it away, but there are a few tired legs and minds out there now. And Derby have won it back, and Thompson's played a peach of a pass out towards Barkhausen on the left. His ball in not so good, and Barry was able to come back and get it away from Collins and clear. High ball forward, Oates going up for it. Beaten in the air by Stearman, brought down by Corey Smith, as Portsmouth score a third at Cardiff through Colby Bishop. Mansfield on the back foot with Mendes Lambring for Derby. For Collins, completely missed his kick and was delighted to see the offside flag come up and spare his blushes.
Yeah, definitely, because that's a James Collins chance, isn't it? How many times have you seen him meet that on the volley? It's not an easy chance, but just guide the ball into the net, just sort of miss-hit it, came off his standing foot, and the strikers love it when they see the flag go up. But I think Jason Knight's been really good. Obviously played a part in the first goal, forcing the own goal. His work rate, seems whatever position he's asked to play, leaves it all out there. And he's a young man, but he's played a lot of football. And I just feel like even like now he's going to chase Christy Pym. Super fit, really good professional.
Yeah, he's only 21 Knight. He's played more than 120 games for Derby. He's been a regular for the first team since he was 18. So a lot of miles on the clock. Not too many 21-year-olds have more than a dozen international caps as well.
Is he one, Jim, that you thought maybe, especially with everything going on off the pitch, that someone might have come and raided from Derby?
Absolutely. Looking at his numbers and his reputation, but if he's happy, it'll be a very good acquisition for somebody in the future, but equally he'll do an outstanding job for Derby. Now Barry's been caught. Collins is in behind him. He went over the head of Barry. Recovery challenge on the edge of the penalty area. It's not clean, and he's sent off. Denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. He lunged once he'd been beaten. The ball went over his head from a lively bounce. Collins was in behind him. Now Barry's quick, but he's not quite quick enough. He had the pace to be able to get back and make a challenge, but he didn't have the pace to be able to win it cleanly. It's a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area, but Barry is sent off, and Mansfield are down to 10 for the last 10 minutes.
So the injury to Aitkins, now he's suspended. You just have to think, I know it's natural instinct to try and get the challenge and make up for your mistake, but you're just thinking that's going to cost them double, not only down to 10 men now, and maybe, you never know, Pym might have saved it, but it's a fact how it's going to impact them in the league as well. But definitely denied a clear goal scoring opportunity. Free kick, a very, very dangerous position. Families in the wall there, and big moment for Collins.
Now that means that Barry will be suspended for Mansfield's trip to Leyton Orient at the weekend. Bolton 4, Salford 1. Conor Bradley with the latest. Collins takes the free kick. Good save, because it went right through a 6-strong wall, and he would have been unsighted there, Christy Pym, until the last minute, not expecting it to break through the forest of legs, but he got down sharply to his left and was able to beat it away. Good goalkeeper.
Yeah, good strong left hand, pushing it to a safe area, and exactly what you said there, Jim, because it's probably too hard for Collins to get that up and over the wall, but he's hoping maybe the wall will jump or whatever, but he's gone goalkeeper side. Pym's been brave, stood and then reacted and got down, and although Derby, got the man advantage, you still, in Mansfield, they can still go for it, maybe get that chance, and obviously Barry's looking at it thinking he would have scored, so maybe he's been vindicated, but the suspension's a big blow for Nigel Clough.
Derby have possession in the midfield with Smith, and you would imagine they'll be able to make the one-man advantage count from here, leading 2-1 with 8 minutes to go. A deadlock broken in London derby. Charlton 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Tyler Roberts on loan at the club at Queen's Park Rangers has scored the goal. Charlton 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Barkhausen trying to get in. That might be a decision for the referee to make. The decision is no foul. O'Toole and Barkhausen both wrestling with each other. No complaints from the Derby man significantly. And Mansfield are back on the front foot as quickly as possible. Still trailing by 2-1. Reading have equalised at home to Stevenage. Northampton have pulled one back at home to Wycombe but trailed 2-1. And across comes Cashin and clears from Will Swan as Mansfield try and get the ball in Derby territory, and they've got a throw. Swindon down to 10 men, and they've conceded from the resulting penalty. Walsall 1, Swindon 0. This one with 7 to go is Mansfield 1, Derby 2.
Danny Johnson on loan from Mansfield to Walsall, is that right? I think he got a hat-trick at the weekend.
Yep.
In the opening game at home to Hartlepool, so yeah, good striker, very good striker at this level.
Rangers 3, Saint-Gilloise 0, 3-2. They now lead on aggregate. And for all the misery last week, it looks as though Rangers are going to be able to pull it round. Swan getting in on the right-hand side of the penalty area, taking on Forsyth. Tried to find somebody at the near post, but Oates couldn't get across his marker, and it's saved by Wildsmith. 6 minutes for Mansfield to find another equaliser and take this to extra time. Wimbledon 0, Gillingham 1. Mikhail Mandron with the goal. Mansfield bringing it forward again, winning possession back. Adoro being taken on. That was a challenge which was clean on Clark towards the edge of the penalty area. Lapsley, then Clark is in there, and now the referee's going to have to get involved. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Mansfield about 18 yards outside the penalty area.
Mendes Lang's thinking the foul was on him, isn't he? It was a bit of a strange one there, who jumped into who, and this is what they've been waiting for. It's a shame they haven't got Hawkins on the pitch from a Mansfield point of view, but they've been looking for a set piece, and they're going to get the big guns up, put a good delivery in. Can Derby hold that high line? But it's all about, this could be the chance that they want. First contact, second contact, big moment.
Birmingham have pulled it round 2 down at Norwich. They've got it back to 2-2. Free kick which McLaughlin's going to take here, left footed, plenty of pace. Oh, it's just wide, and everybody was expecting the ball to be flighted inside that penalty area. And he saw Wildsmith's starting position, was gambling on the ball if he crossed in, and he's trying to beat him, whipping it round the wall towards the near post, and he just got across there in time.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. A bit, was it Gary McAllister against Paul Gerrard all that time ago? Yeah, it's nearly caught him out. Good goalkeeping in the end.
In comes Mansfield's corner. McLaughlin looking for the flick, and it's cleared off the line. Hewitt was nearly in there, had an opportunity almost to walk it in, and it's cleared, and now the counter-attack is on. It could have been 2-2, might be 3-1 Derby in a moment. Mendes Lang for Collins, delaying the shot, delayed it too long. Mansfield got the bodies back, and a sliding challenge puts it out of play for a corner. That's great defending from Maris.
Wow, so you can see Wildsmith saying to Cashin, yes, big man. I'm sure it's Cashin's foot on the line that blocked it, and that's what we were thinking. A set piece could be that moment. So the one free kick, then the corner coming in, big opportunities, counter-attack, pure pace, but brilliant recovery from Mansfield. And to be fair, both teams have just left it all out there. They've given everything. Really good, enthralling, committed cup tie, and some real quality as well.
And talking of quality, Derby are bringing on Connor Harahan, who's going to come off the bench here to replace Jason Knight. So more experience coming on. Harahan had played in the final 3 seasons ago for Villa against Manchester City. Mansfield are making a change as well. McLaughlin coming off, and he's going to be replaced on the left by James Gale, who spent the second half of last season loaned to Guiseley, player signed from local non-league football Long Eaton United this time last year, and he comes on here hoping to make himself a hero. Derby take the corner. Harahan's first touch to take that corner. It's cleared. It's back in from Corey Smith, spilled by the goalkeeper, but the flag's up as Collins puts it in, and those Derby celebrations are very quickly muted.
Yeah, he was miles offside, you knew that. Again, spilt by Christy Pym, but still game on, isn't it? Still game on. Well taken by Collins, but he was miles offside. And no doubt you've commentated at Long Eaton as well, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I don't think. He's my level. Harahan to Barkhausen in the midfield. Here's Corey Smith inside the centre circle. And Aduro will whip it out towards Mendes Lang on the Derby County right. 2.5 minutes to go. Luton, who were 2-1 up at home to Newport, are now 3-2 down at Kenilworth Road. So there's another potential championship scout there. Luton 2, Newport 3.
Nathan Jones probably know a few Newport fans, wouldn't he? Being from that part of the world.
And they'll all be on his phone in about 10 minutes time.
You're not wrong.
The ball goes out towards Aduro. 2-1 Derby lead here. Mendes Lang might be offside. The ball is played too strongly for him anyway, and it's picked up by Christy Pym on the left hand side of the penalty area. 2 to go here. Mansfield 1, Derby 2. And Mansfield will bring it out from the back. Gale has come on, playing on the right hand side, but in a very advanced position. So it's very much a front three now for Mansfield. Gale on the right, and Oates in the middle, Swan on the left. Crowd of best part of 7,000 here tonight in what's been a great atmosphere and a really tremendous cup tie. Walsall 2, Swindon 0. 2 goals in a minute there in the Black Country. Timmy Abraham has got the second of those. Gordon with the throw. Headed away by Derby's Forsyth. Breaks from Maris in the midfield. Works it out towards Hewitt. Hewitt chases after it. Hewitt, right-footed, swung towards the edge of the penalty area. Decent header away from Cashin. And Derby whack it further forward, long down the left with Collins. Barkhausen chasing after it. O'Toole's there first. Controls it neatly and finds his goalkeeper. Played out from the back by Christy Pym. We're in the 90th minute. There'll be a bit of time to be added on here, so we've had some time wasting, a couple of injuries, a whole raft of substitutions as well, so there could be 5 minutes potentially. Long ball over the top, and it's a good one. That could be a penalty to Mansfield, or was the infringement outside the area? It's out. It's a free kick, left-hand side of the penalty area, as Will Swan threatened to get in. Stearman wrestled him to the ground. It is really close to the edge of the box. And Stearman was there, Aduro was there. It might actually have been the young right back who was beaten. He's been spoken to by the referee. He's going to get a yellow card. It was a wide angle, so it's not the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity as Bowery's was, but what it does do is give Mansfield a stoppage time free kick and a chance to find another equaliser.
Yeah, someone booted the ball away, so they've had to get another ball in there. 5 minutes is that stoppage time, and this is a dangerous position. I think it's going to be a right footer, 2-man wall, just aim towards the back stick, try and get players across the goalkeeper's eye line. The Derby, can they get a contact on it? Really dangerous position. So hard this is for goalkeepers.
Gale, free at the back post, makes a darting run. Really poor low delivery straight into the wall. It'll be taken on again, but cleared by Aduro. And Oates is frustrated as the ball is whacked into the trees just behind what used to be the covered terrace on the far side here. And that goes out of play for another throw. So we're in those 5 extra minutes. Elsewhere, Bolton 5, Salford 1, Grimsby 4, Crewe 0, Exeter 7 up at Cheltenham. Long throw to be taken from the Mansfield left. Still hanging in the balance, the 10 men from Mansfield. Can they find an equaliser against Derby? They're 2-1 down in stoppage time. Long throw inside the Derby penalty area. O'Toole helps it on. Goalkeeper Wildsmith comes out and claims it off the head of the Mansfield player. And then, as I would want my goalkeeper to do, just collapses to his knees inside the 6-yard box.
You work on it in training. You work on it. I always remember coaching a young goalkeeper. I said, right, you're winning 1-0, last minute, what do you do? And he ran and hit a volley, and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I wanted to win 2-0. You drop to the floor, mate.
A win's a win. The ball played forward down the Derby left. Mansfield win it back. Just a little shove off the ball on Lapsley. Derby win it back as it's punted forward. Stearman beating Rhys Oates. Cheltenham have equalised at home to Queen's Park Rangers. A stoppage time goal from Aaron Henry. Connor Harahan has it for Derby. Taking it out towards the right touchline. Level with the edge of the Mansfield penalty area. Derby just need to keep the ball in that half of the pitch and they've got the job done. Smith has done well. Mendes Lang with a touch that's going to be able to take him past Hewitt in space, down towards the corner flag. And Hewitt sticks his foot out and puts it out of play for a throw to Derby, but that will do nicely as far as the Rams are concerned, just trying to kill the game from here. They lead 2-1 in stoppage time.
Yeah, and I think Mendes Lang and Barkhausen have really had a positive impact, and shows again good professionalism. They knew they weren't going to start the game, but might be needed, and Liam Rossini said, go on, with your pace cause problems, and Mendes Lang especially has absolutely terrified them with that pace, and the assist for the goal was top draw. But it's been excellent. But you know, when you can bring players on like that, wow.
Throw taken. Derby try and keep the ball down by the corner flag. They couldn't.
Everyone stayed, haven't they? Sorry.
Well, you would. Opportunity for a famous win potentially. Penalty shootout still could be on the cards, but it's going to be late and dramatic from Mansfield, who have a free kick inside their own penalty area that they initially tried to take from the wrong place. Now Pym will clear it. High, long ball forward through the middle. Little shove from Oates. Play goes on. There was a shove. Crowd don't like it, but the decision to give Derby a free kick is the correct one.
It is, and Stearman used every bit of his experience. He knew that there wasn't much pressure on Pym. He had to drop. And yeah, Oates just ran into him, won the free kick again, take the sting out of the game. They won't be in a rush to take it. And those set pieces, they were the chances for me for Mansfield. And that last one in that dangerous position, into the low, just got it wrong. But yeah, good game, really open game.
Rochdale 1, Burton 0 with 3 minutes to go. That is going to be a goal kick to Mansfield, but they've got about a minute and 15 left, plus whatever is added on at the end of the 5 extra minutes. Pym waves everybody upfield, drives it high into Derby territory. Cashin does well. The young bearded Irishman coming to meet it, heads it away from Gale and out of play for a Mansfield throw. Gordon has taken that, can't get the return ball though. Maris has laid it past him, and straight out of play for a Derby throw, and they might be able to run the clock down from there. There's about 40 seconds left.
Yeah, again, they're not going to be in a hurry to do it. I think Cashin is another good young player, bit Richard Dunn sort of build, being left-sided, young, obviously very good in the air, and they'll only get better with these games. So I think there's been a lot of good young players on show tonight.
Cam Brannigan with an equaliser right at the end for Oxford at home to Swansea. There were 2 down there early on. Oxford 2, Swansea 2. Gillingham have taken the lead at Wimbledon right at the end. The ball out of play for a throw to Mansfield, who trailed 2-1. Work forward. Lapsley's got it. Lapsley taking it on. He's got movement either side of him. Hasn't got very much time. Lapsley just waiting for options to present themselves, and then Gordon's given a shove, and it's a free kick to Mansfield, given away by Mendes Lang, a yard in from the right-hand touchline. They're going to have to score from this if they're going to do it. Derby holding on, but they've given a needless free kick away right at the end of stoppage time, nearly level with the edge of the penalty area.
As much as I've praised Natty Mendes Lang, showing great desire to get back, but as you say, he's going nowhere. He's away from goal. Just stand up. But this is that moment. Mr. Funkman, put it in there. Desire. Who wants it most? All about the delivery and desire.
7 of Mansfield's 9 outfield players in there to attack this. Maris with the delivery. It's come off a Derby head. If it's cleared by Collins, they've won it, and that is exactly what has happened. It's Derby to go through to round 2. That has been a tremendous cup tie. Mansfield have been really game, even when they went down to 10 men after Jordan Bowery was sent off 9 minutes from time. They still had chances. They had one cleared off the line. They'd hit the bar, but ultimately it was Derby's expertise that got the job done. In the first half, they were the better side. Mansfield equalising early in the second when they were on top, but Barkhausen and Mendes Lang came on midway through the second half. Combined with Barkhausen heading home and Mendes Lang cross, it turned out to be the winner, and it's Derby County that go through, and Mansfield still look for that first ever win against the Rams.